All right, question number 7. We have 4 parts. We're given a survey of the number of texts that adults and teens send, and we're given a number chart here. The number of adults who sent no text was 168. The number of teens was 9. Between 1 and 10, 981 for adults and 142 for teens, and then so forth and so on, up to 100 plus texts. So the 4 parts that we're going to complete are we're going to construct a relative frequency distribution for adults. We're going to do the same for teens. Then we're going to construct side-by-side frequency bar graphs to compare the texting habits of adults and teens. So what we're going to do to find the relative frequency, we're going to add up and find the total for adults. We're going to find the total for teens. And then we're going to divide each category by the total. And then we're going to round to 3 decimal places. And then we'll fill in the chart. So you can, I think, simply just add it all up. I want to show you another process that we're going to be doing later on in the semester, but you can kind of start learning it now. I'm going to go to Stat. I'm turning on the calculator first. Go to Stat. I'm going to hit Enter on Edit. And then I'm going to just enter all the numbers. 168, 981, 258, 243, 141, 152. Okay, so double check that you got everything entered correctly. That's the most common error made, is data entry when you're using technology. Finger slip, wrong keystroke, something like that. Once I have this in, I'm going to hit Stat. I'm going to go over to Calc, and I'm going to hit Enter on this first option, 1 variable statistics. And then it's asking me list 1, which is where I put it all in, and I'm just going to hit Enter. So what this is going to do is going to add everything up for me, give me an average. This is the total. So it kind of just does it for me. This is the total, and it gives me a lot of other statistics that I don't need right now, but we will be doing this later when we start doing 5-number summary. So this same process will be good for you to learn. It'll speed up the work. But 1943 is the total. So what I'm going to do with this now, I'm going to go back to Stat. I'm going to go Enter on Edit. I'm going to go to List 2. And I'm going to tell it a formula. So I'm going to hit Enter here. I want the 1943, which was the total that we just got. And then, well, let me clear this out first. I want to take this list and divide it by 1943. So I'm going to hit second and then number 1 to get list 1. So I want to tell it, I want you to use these list 1 values, and we're going to divide those by the 1943. So that was the total that we got from the Stat. And hit Enter, and it just does it all at once for me. So now I can see all the values, each one of these divided. So if you want to, you can write it down and double check. I can actually pull up on screen just 4-function calculator and just double check. 168 divided by the 1943, and you get 0.086. And so that's what we want. We're going to round this to 3 decimal places. So I like this method because it just does it all at once really fast, instead of having to type in 6 or 7 different division problems. So I'm going to enter the 3 decimal places for adults. So just going down the list, 0.068, 0.086, sorry, 0.86. The next is going to be 0.505. The next one is going to be 0.133. The next one is going to be 0.125. The next one is going to be 0.073. And then the last one is going to be 0.078. All right, so once you get all of those in, I think it's good to also check that the total gives you 100%. So I'm going to just type in these 3 decimal places and add them and check to see that they equal 1. 0.086 plus 0.505 plus 0.133 plus 0.125 plus 0.073 plus 0.078. Okay, so that's a good intermediate check step. So when you do relative frequency, everything should total to be 1. All right, so we're going to do the same thing with teens, okay? So I'm going to use the same method. I'm going to go to Stat, Enter on Edit, or I could have done it from where I was. And now I'm going to go up and clear this list. So you got to hit Clear and then hit Enter, and it clears everything out. Go over here, Clear, hit Enter, and it clears it out. So now I'm going to do the teens data. So the teens, 9, 142, 75, 114, 110, and 177. Double check, make sure you didn't type anything in incorrectly. All right, and then I'm going to do Stat, go over to Calculate so it can give me the statistics, and then just hit Enter on Calculate. So the E sub X, so this is a summation symbol. This is giving you the total. So 627. 627 is my total. I'm going to go back to Stat, Enter on Edit. I'm going to go over to L2, and I'm going to tell it I want you to take this and divide by 642. So second, I want you to use list 1 and divide by 642. And then here I get all my relative frequencies. So 0.014, 0.221, 0.117 when you round into 3 decimal places. So just a reminder, when we round to 3 decimal places, we look at the 4th place. If the 4th place is 5 or higher, I round the 3rd place up. And if the 4th place is 4 or lower, then I leave the 3rd place the same. So whatever place they want you to round, you have to look at the one behind it, just a reminder of that. So now we're going to be on 0.178. So 0.178. So that's the 177 goes up. So the 171 will stay, 0.171, and then the last one, 0.27, will round up to 6, 0.276. Okay, so one of my responses is incorrect. Did I type something in? Let me go back and look. Maybe I did the division wrong. Stat, calc. First variable statistics. Oh, 627. That's what I did. 627 is what I should be dividing by. 627. 627. 627. Clear this out. Everything's wrong. Divided by 627. All right, so we got new numbers. Here we go. 0.014 stays. 0.22, this is going to be now 0.226, 0.120 for this one, 19 will round up to 20, 0.182, third one 0.175, and the last one 0.282. Sorry about that. All right, so now once we get those two done, we're going to look at side-by-side charts and compare them. So based on the heights of those charts, we're going to find out which one match. So adults are blue and teens are red. Adults have 0.86 while teens have 0.14. So adults, the first section should be higher. The blue should be higher than the red. So looking at B or D, and then these two look the same, the difference is here. So let's look at the third category. So between 11 and 20 texts, option B has teens higher, and D has adults higher. So let's see. On the third one, we have 0.120 for teens. Third one, we have 0.133 for adults. So adults are a little bit higher than teens right here. So we're going to go with option D. And then when we compare the texting habits of adults and teens, we want to choose the one that best describes that. So teens are more likely to send fewer texts per day, while adults are more likely to send many texts per day. Teens definitely send more. So when we get to 21 to 50, their numbers are greater than the adults. So teens send fewer, and they also send more, while adults, maybe adults send fewer. They send here, adults send between 1 and 10. The best way to say that, let me see. Teens are more likely to send fewer texts per day, while adults send many. Nope. Teens are more likely to send many. Adults are more likely to send a moderate number. That seems like it fits. Both the teens are low, but adult, they're more in the middle. Adults are more likely to send fewer texts per day, while teens send moderate. Adults are more likely to send few texts per day, while teens are more likely to send many. So I would definitely say between B and D, I want to lean more toward B, because the moderate in the middle, I mean, there could be a few, maybe fewer, and the teens gonna send more. Let's go with D. Either one of those seem like they could fit, but fewer, the bottom two, make more sense. So that would conclude number 7.